And as we discussed yesterday, I am back again with today with new topic and new thought. So today I wanted to discuss on hybrid work. So hybrid work is no longer an experiment, as you know. It's default operating mode model for many organizations. Employees split time between office and home. Teams collaborate, access location and locations. So system and access from multiple devices and networks. So simply they split time between office and home, collaborate, access across locations, access from multiple device or network. On the surface, everything seems functional. Meetings are happening, applications are accessible, deliverables are being submitted. But today I wanted to talk about something subtle. The silent productivity killer is hybrid environment because productivity rarely collapses dramatically. It erodes quietly. So when companies move to hybrid model, the primary focus was enablement. Provide laptops, VPN, deployed collaboration tool, move application to cloud, or provide or expose over the internet. And technically that work. But what many organizations miss is that productivity is not just about access. It's about consistency. Hybrid environment introduce variabil- variability, different home network, different devices, different latencies level, different security postures, and variability creates friction. Friction is rarely reported as productivity loss. It appears as slightly delay, repeated login issue, application lag, file syncing conflicts, session drops, kind of things. And each issue seems very small, right? But multiplied across hundreds of employees and thousands of interactions, the cost becomes significant. Let me give you a practical example. A consulting firm adopted hybrid work permanently. Employees had access to CRM, ERP, document management system through VPN. And from the office, everything worked smoothly. There is no challenge. From home, performance varied. Some employees had high speed, five maybe fiber connection as well. Other had unstable connections. Some use company issues laptop. Some use older personal device or without any antivirus or any security product. Over time, something interesting happened. No major outage occurred, but deadline started slipping. Teams spent more time troubleshooting access that executing task. Managers noticed output variations but could not pinpoint the cause. The issue was not motivation, it was architectural inconsistency. Habit productivity depends on predictable digital environments. Without centralized control like virtual desktop or optimized digital workspace design, performance depends on endpoint quality always. And endpoint variability becomes the silent killer. Hybrid work also increased digital fragmentation. Employees uses email, chat, video calls, project tools, cloud storage, VPN clients, switching between tools consistently. Each switching consumes cognitive energy and cognitive load accumulates. and cognitive load reduce focused work. When architecture is not streamlined, when authentication is not unified, when application is not centralized, context switching intensifies. Productivity drops without obvious failure. So there is another dimension as well. Security measures, if poorly implemented, create friction. Related MFA prompts, session timeout, blocked application, inconsistent access policy. Security must protect without obstructing. When access architecture is when access architecture is inconsistent, employee create workarounds, and workaround reduce both productivity and security. This silent killer is not remote work itself; it's unmanaged variability. Many organizations cannot answer a simple question: where is productivity actually lost? They measure login hours, ticket counts, meeting attendance, kind of thing, but they don't measure application latency, session performance, endpoint health, access reliability. So without visibility, friction remains invisible. Invisible friction becomes accepted behavior, and accepted inefficiency becomes culture of your company or any organization. Hybrid productivity requires architectural discipline. Design a strong organization designed for centralized application delivery, identify fast access, consistent user experience across location, performance monitoring beyond uptime. So virtual desktop environment, when implemented correctly, eliminates endpoint variability. Success access secure access architecture reduce inconsistent authentication flows. Monitoring tool detects performance bottleneck before user escalate issues. So productivity improves not because people worked harder, but because friction decreases. So if productivity is slightly lower every day, but never you calculated what exactly and where this productivity is going, how long before cumulative impact becomes visible in revenue? That is the silent risk. Hybrid model magnify small inefficiencies, and a small efficiency compounds. Another aspects, when you are providing access or someone is working from home, how you can calculate their productive hours. So if you are in micromanagement, then you need to check every time whoever working in a hybrid environment from home or anywhere, mm, out of your office, then what is the tool you are going to use. If you are not using tool like mira monitor or something like that, where employee performance productivity performance can be measured, or rather I can say, if you can ask your team to measure their performance, their productivity time with this type of tools like mira monitor, then definitely you are in playing with a big risk using hybrid. So what happened when you are providing this type of tool to your teammates? If they analyze their day-to-day hours, and if they really think this, my 8 hours, where I'm spending 8 hours in sitting idle or watching something which is not productive, or and laptop is on but you are not doing anything. So these are another aspects which is killing the entire business. So with this, let me provide some questions around hybrid productivity, which I came from my some of the friends, some of the colleagues, or some of the leadership as a question. So first question which I got is not hybrid productivity mostly about employee discipline? Discipline matters, but system design shapes behavior. Poor architecture create unnecessary friction regardless of motivation. So another question is, does faster internet solve this? Speed helps, but architectural consistency matter more than raw bandwidth. Then I got another question where, should every hybrid user move to virtual desktop? Not always, but sensitive performance critical roles benefit significantly from centralized environments. So adopting virtual desktop for those who are working from any location, work from home, or they are on the go, or they are traveling, that will help. Then another question is, how can leadership measure hidden productivity loss? Though application performance monitoring, endpoint health tracking, and user experience metrics, not just login hour. As I told few minutes back, there are tools which can monitor each and every time minutes of the day for the employee. But the problem is you do not need to go and check which employee is doing what. Rather, they need to understand where their productive time is it wasting their productive time, or is it utilizing in a proper way to enhance their career or enhance their role and responsibility. So that is one thing. Another question, is this more of an IT issue or business issue? It's a business issue. Productivity impact revenue, delivery timelines, and client satisfaction, right? So this is business issue. So these are the few questions which I got. If you have something, then definitely post in the chat, or you can comment. So hybrid work is here to stay, right? But hybrid productivity is not automatic. It must be designed, right? The silent productivity killer is not remote work. It's unmanaged inconsistency. Organization that engineer consistent digital experience outperform those that simply enable remote access. If this conversation resonates with you, share it with someone responsible for digital workspace strategy, or share with those who will like to adopt employee performance monitoring tool where they can ask their team or their employee to manage their time using this tool. So in 8 hours, how much time they are spending, they can calculate and they can improve themselves to get better career. Comment with your experience, especially if you have seen subtle productivity erosions in hybrid model. And follow for deeper discussion on virtual desktop, employee productivity management, cyber security, or data protection. And if you are also in web and application development, then definitely I like to discuss something productive on those lines. Let's design hybrid environment that are not just flexible but efficient. Thank you.